Hello everybody, this is Srivashni pursuing MTech at VIT University, Chennai. Today I'm going to talk about throttle pursuit sensor. TPS is a sensor that is used in high-end cars, and today we'll be knowing what is the use of it and how it works and why TPS sensor is so necessary in our day-to-day used cars. So in today's presentation, we'll see about the following topics: introduction, dealing with what the sensor is and how it works. Next is about the sensor. We'll come to know the different methods in which they work and what it does. There is also different types of TPS, its working principle, why TPS is used and why it's necessary for an engine to know what is the purpose of TPS being used in the system. Later we'll conclude it, and final slide will be on the references used. Introduction. So this presentation will be dealing with an automotive component that, as I already said, that has been used in the part of an engine. The topic covered, that is throttle position sensor. So throttle position sensor is used in any engine part. It is seen in any of the vehicle or automotive used in the day-to-day lives. And further, we will be seeing on the working and purpose of TPS in the system. So this is about the sensor. As you can see the diagram, there is the internal part of the engine, and where the throttle body and which side of the throttle body the TPS is placed is seen from the diagram. So about the sensor is, the name itself says about that is a throttle position sensor. And why throttle position is throttle position is necessary to be monitored, because the position of the throttle plate inside the throttle body will help in better running of the system. We will see how that works. The sensor inside will allow to mixture of fuel and air into the system for better ignition. So that is why this TPS is used. What it does: so TPS is located in the butterfly spindle attached to the body of the engine. As you can see, this is the body of the engine on the right side. So on the right end you can see that is called the butterfly spindle valve. TPS consists of two ends. So that is one end that will have the sensor attached, and the other end will be connected to the engine. So in between this body there is a throttle plate placed, so which will be doing the actual work of the throttle changing of the position. So the end with the sensor will sense the position of the throttle and communicate to the ECU of the vehicle. Other end of the system can control the mixture of air and fuel ratio. So this will help the engine to work properly, and the proper efficient fuel and ratio mixture will keep the engine running. So fuel and ignition timing is altered by the position of the throttle valve. So there are many types of TPS. Here they are classified as two types, that is potentiometer type and switch type. Potentiometer type is adjustable, so we can change the we cannot change completely, since it is pre-programmed actually. And potentiometer type is mostly used because we don't have to do much of the work, where the system itself will do the most of the work. So this is mostly used. Second type is a switch type, which is cyclic working. So cyclic working here means it is like on and off. It is cycles between on and off. That is on when the electricity flow is there, and off when the electricity flow is interrupted. The problem is it works with electricity, and even when the switch is off, they send input to the vehicle. So that is a lagging feature in switch type. Here's the working principle. So basically the input comes from the pedal assembly on the right side. You can see the image on the right side. So this pedal, when it is being pressed, the data is being sent, and that action will be sent to the throttle blade inside the throttle body. So here you can see there's a throttle position sensor in one end, and this is tach motor in the other end, and the blade inside between the body. So the blade is between the body. It's a flat blade that will move up and down. So the throttle position sensor is on the left end, that is sensing it and sending to the TAC module and to the PCM. So that is how this is being. This is its working principle. The sensor sends a low voltage signal, so it is almost less than 1 volt. When the voltage is high, the throttle is opened up, so that is in the high position. That is fully open throttle. When voltage is low, the throttle position is closed, so almost partially hiding the path of air to be sent up and down. So maximum voltage here should only be 5 volt. It will only be around 5 volt. Sensor values is rate of the throttle is used to adjust fuel trim. So why the sensor value is needed? This is why the sensor value is needed. Rate of the throttle is used to adjust fuel trim. So the amount of fuel being sent inside and outside will be monitored and reduced according to the need. So that is why this throttle position sensor plays a major role in fuel consumption strategy. Here we can see how the potentiometer type of TPS works. So potentiometer type of TPS is consisting of 3 wires. So it's a potentiometer, so we have to give 5 volts, ground, and the potentiometer wiper. Here the potentiometer wiper is a needle kind of structure that moves up and down, indicating what amount of volt is being produced. So that is why TP sensor is having 3 pins. And potentiometer wiper produces a resistance whenever there is a deflection. So when there is a movement of the needle, that is the potentiometer wiper, from one end, that is considering that it is from B to A, since B is an ideal position as seen in the diagram. So when it moves from that is a clockwise direction from B to A, there is a resistance produced. So this resistance is being changed as voltage when it receives to the ECU. So here the ideal voltage will be around only 0.7 volts. As in the second diagram you can see, comparing the first and the second diagram, when there is no change in the potentiometer wiper, the value of the voltage signal is only 0.5 volts. So it is almost in the idling condition. But you see in the second diagram, we can see that the needle has moved towards its highest, so that's around the voltage it received around is around 4.5 volts. So this is where it means that the throttle position is at the highest state. So there is more amount of fuel and air mixture going inside the system. Okay, now this helps in the control flow given to the vehicle. So by what means is the pedal. As we have seen it in this diagram, that the pedal will help in moving the throttle. That is what is being explained. So control of the airflow is given by the pedal to the vehicle. When the pedal is pushed, that's what I said, the pedal is pushed, the throttle plate will open wider. This increases the airflow to the engine. When the pedal is not pushed, the throttle plate is closed, and thereby reducing the airflow to the engine. Due to more air, there is more air and fuel mixture of the air and fuel ratio, and this involves in more power and more speed. This is the on the diagram we can see the throttle blade clearly through the throttle body. So this is the throttle body seen in the picture, and the hole, through the hole you can see a copper plate that has been vertically positioned. So this vertically positioned condition is what is the fully open throttle condition. So on the right side we can see how the airflow is being structured. So default position, the throttle is normal, so the throttle position is being loaded to default position, so it comes back to the default position according to the sensor. And the ideal position is that motor drives throttle shaft from the default position, so it moves from the other way. And next, the acceleration position. Here when you accelerate, that is what I meant by pedal pushing. So when you accelerate, there is motor drives the throttle shaft open from the default position, so it moves to its highest position. Why TPS? So concluding why TPS is used, lurching. Lurching is a condition that is lurching occurs when there is less amount of air and fuel, mixture sent to the engine. So that when there is improper air and fuel mixture, there is this condition called lurching. Lurching occurs when there is dead spot. So dead spot is a worn out sensor. So when there is a dead spot condition, the lurching occurs. It occurs in mostly the ideal position. So when it comes back, when the throttle position comes back and finds its ideal position, lurching occurs. Due to this, there are forward batches. So when you press the gas pedal, so you can experience this when you're driving the car. There is when you press the pedal, or there is no proper air and fuel mixture there, and the car moves up and down, like it moves, gives a jerk and come back, gives a jerk and come back. So that is the lurching condition. So if TPS is not used in this case, the amount of air and fuel is not known, and it would be difficult to calculate which amount of fuel and air should be given in the system. So that is why TPS is a very important factor. So that thereby we come to the conclusion that we see how effective this throttle position is and why it is necessary to be there in the vehicle. And the best part is TPS with a potentiometer works the best. It helps in sending the right amount of fuel to the ignition process. So that is how the data or the fuel is being noted correctly or sensed by the ECU, and this helps in working of the ignition process properly inside the engine. This is a references of my video. Thank you.